Fate Be Changed. Chapter 4, Merida. Who are you? Merida's eyes darted from the jagged knife mere inches from her nose to the girl a few years older than her, clutching it in her hand. The stranger's grip on the handle was so tight that the skin strained stark white over her knuckles. "What are you doing here?" the young woman asked. "What do you want?" What was it about the village? Was everyone so hostile? Merida contemplated her chances of survival if she tried to roll away or knock the knife out of the girl's hand. Neither seemed like a smart choice, especially with the tattered, bulky gown weighing her down and the persistent headache that refused to go away. "Are you going to answer me?" the young woman asked again. She looked over her shoulder, then back to Merida. "Well?" There was something about her striking features that stole Merida's ability to speak. Her pert, aquiline nose flared as she waited for Merida's answer. Despite the dusty cloak she wore, the fine braided trim on the neckline of her garment told of a position of wealth, especially compared to the woman Merida had spotted in the village the day before, with the silver streak in her hair. "I shall ask you but once more," the girl snarled. "Who are you?" "My name..." The words came out raspy. She cleared her throat. "My name is Merida." "And what are you doing on our lands, Merida? Have you come to steal from the king?" "Of course not," Merida said. She cleared her throat again. She needed water. The sound of the brook a few paces away taunted her. "The only thing I want to get is back to Castle Dunbrock." The stranger drew up short, her eyes narrowing in suspicion. "You are of Clan Dunbrock?" Merida nodded. "Yes, do you know how to get there?" The girl ignored her question, her eyes roaming over Merida's face. "You do have that brash hair of the Dunbrock." She regarded Merida with a touch of sympathy in her expression, as if her red hair was something to be pitied. "You still have not told me what you're doing on our lands," she said. "I would, but it's hard to think clearly with a dagger pointed at my face," Merida answered. "Can you please put it away? I am a defenseless visitor. There is no need for you to draw your weapon on me while I was sleeping." "You are not defenseless," the girl stated. She jutted her chin toward the bow and quiver that Merida had left near the fire pit. Merida cursed her misstep. She had been taught to never let her weapon out of her reach. Her father would be so disappointed. "I cannot even reach my bow," Merida argued. "Can you please draw back your blade? I promise I am harmless and I need to think." Suspicion teemed in the young woman's eyes, but after a moment she stepped back and dropped her hand. She continued holding the knife in a tight grip at her side, no doubt waiting to pounce if Merida tried anything untoward. "Get up," the stranger ordered. "Over there." Her dark auburn hair whipped over one shoulder, as if she motioned for Merida to move away from the tree where her bow and arrow sat. Merida lumbered clumsily from the ground. For a second, she considered making a run for it, gauging how long it would take to mount Angus. In the state she was in, she would likely fall off her horse's back, if she managed to mount him at all. "Over here," the girl pointed to a spot near a short boulder. "I know we are supposed to trust the Dunbrocks now that we are in an alliance, but you should understand why I do not. That is, if you really are a Dunbrock." "I am," Merida insisted. She wondered why everyone seemed to talk about this alliance as if it were a terrible thing. Were the villages of Macintosh so unhappy with their neighbors? Was this a recent development truly connected to Merida's performance at the games? Or had Merida not known about a simmering, rocky political situation? She usually didn't concern herself with such matters, but maybe it was time she started to pay attention. The stranger leveled a challenging glare at Merida. "Now, tell me what you're really doing here." "I got lost in the forest," Merida said. "I just want to go home." "And where is home?" "I told you, I live in Castle Dunbrock. I am Princess Merida of Clan Dunbrock. My father, Fergus, is the king. My mother is..." "King?" The girl interrupted her. She huffed out a laugh. "Just like a Dunbrock to declare himself a king simply because of the alliance. You tell Chieftain Dunbrock that there is but one king, and he is a McCameron." "McCameron?" The only clan McCameron Merida knew of was her mother's old clan, but most of their members had been killed in a battle with Vikings shortly after her mother and father were married. According to the stories Merida had been told, what was left of her mother's original clan resided far south, near the tip of the country. Merida had never had the chance to meet any of the McCamerons. Both her parents had declared that it was far too dangerous to chance taking Merida and her younger brothers on a journey south. Absently, Merida tried to sweep the hair from her face. She winced it as pain shot from the knot in her hand. How far had she traveled? What happened to your head? The girl asked. I don't know, Merida answered. I fell yesterday. I think I may have hit it on a rock. I am not sure I believe you, the stranger said, her deep brown eyes narrowing. The chieftain of Clan Dunbrock has never sent a lass before. His emissaries have all been elite warriors. She peered at Merida with a cynical frown. You do not look like an elite warrior to me. Merida could not argue with her. She might have been an expert archer, but she was no warrior. And what is this? The young woman gestured to the rudimentary fire pit, which held the remnants of Merida's dinner. I caught and cooked a hare last night, she explained. And you expect me to believe you are from Dunbrock? She shook her head. If the chieftain had sent you to deliver a message to the real king, he would have provided enough food to last your entire journey. You would not have had to skin your own hare. I was not sent as a missionary. I am Clan Dunbrock, Merida said, unsure what else she could do to make the girl see reason. I left the castle in haste. I did not think to bring any plaid with me, she said. The Highland Games were taking place right now. You can ask anyone. The Highland Games are almost a fortnight away, the stranger answered. Merida frowned, rubbing her sore temple. None of this is making sense. Can you please just point me in the direction of home? Merida asked. Suddenly the young woman held up a hand. Shh, she said. She looked right, then left. Down, she whispered intensely. Get down! Merida dropped to the ground, but not before she noticed men wearing the same purple and orange plaids that she had seen the previous day, making their way through the brambles several paces away. There were at least a half-dozen of them, riding atop broad-chested horses. These were no peasants, not with such fine steeds. These men were part of some chieftain's army. Who are they? Merida whispered. The suspicion that continued to lurk in the stranger's eyes deepened. You say you are of Clan Dunbrock, yet you do not know who these men are? I have never seen that particular tartan before, Merida answered. And I thought my father kept me sheltered, the young woman said. At least I know a hostile clan when I see one. So she had been right to hide from those men before. At least her instincts were still intact. But Merida's head hurt too much to think about it more deeply. She needed to get home, and as much as she hated to admit it, she needed this young woman's help to do it. Are you going to assist me or aren't you? Merida asked her. The young woman arched her brow, and Merida sucked in a breath. She had seen that look before, often during a firm dressing down by her mother, following some misguided action on Merida's part. It cannot be. But hadn't the young woman said her father was a McCameron? This stranger must have been related to her mother. The resemblance was too strong for it to be a mere coincidence. What is your name? Merida asked her. The girl raised a hand, silencing her. She looked over both shoulders. I think the men are gone. I must continue. You have held me up long enough. No, Merida said. No, please, you do not understand. I have no one else. I have been lost in these woods since yesterday. I hurt my head. My horse... She looked around in a panic. She had to stop losing her horse. Angus, Merida called. Your horse is fine, the stranger said. He is tied up to the tree next to mine. She finally sheathed her knife, tucking it in a scabbard tied to her belt. Those men are gone now, but they may come back. It is not safe for a young lass like yourself to be in these woods alone. You are alone. Yes, but I know these woods. You clearly do not. Are you really going to leave me here? Merida asked. I must, the young woman insisted. My father's men will soon be here looking for me. I am sorry, but I cannot help. Who are your father's men? Warriors in the king's army, the girl said distractedly as she straightened her belt. My father is King Douglas of McCameron, and I'm his daughter, Princess Eleanor.